Caffer.
The Prefer Racing Team Austria is the next target for Gabi, Sandra and the rest of the racing divas. That is the 97 Prefer Racing Team Austria Seat Leon Supercopa. The leader of that class is the 47. And that car is just about a minute or so further up the field. Motorsport Services, the Kiwi, entered Seat Leon, so it's BMW versus a couple of Seats. There is Jan Magnussen. Oh, what a debut at the 24 hours that could have been. Matt Griffin, Tara Guerra, Johnny Molam and Jan. Now Jan's just done a 2 minutes 1.223. Let's head down to the pit lane. We saw drama in the SP3 category, the SP2 category, with Tom Onslow-Cole's car being pushed into the pit lane, and Nick Damon is down with the Golf and with Tom.
Tom, a good run when it's running, but it's not been running enough, if that makes sense. What's stopped it this time?
This time we've got a gearbox issue. Now, we lost fourth gear. The internals feel okay. It feels more of a selection problem. But actually, you know, it's run really well. The guys have done a fantastic job at KPM and at Milltech as well. But we had a little bit of accident damage earlier in the night, and that took a lot out of us. We were in the garage for a long time. But we thought we had it back there, but, you know, another gremlin. But, you know, these are the things you come to try and tackle, I guess.
Well, you're still second in the D1 class. You've got a bit of a gap. Is this a quick one, or is it a long change? Will you get out again before the end?
I'm not entirely sure what the problem is yet, but we want to get out, we want to finish. You know, for a lot of us, this is our first 24-hour race, and to finish would be a massive accomplishment for us. As
it's your first 24-hour, what's driving at night like?
Epic, really, really cool. I think I've said it a couple of times, it feels a bit naughty. You shouldn't be going that fast at night, and I've had a fantastic time here this weekend. The series is so well organised, it's been really slick. I've enjoyed my time with KPM, and you know, massive thanks to Milltech for putting me in.
You don't mind getting buzzed by a load of A6 cars 6 times a lap then?
It's fairly busy. I might prefer to be doing the buzzing, but it's been such a good learning experience, you know, having never driven at night before, never having to manage that amount of traffic before either. It's been a really cool experience, and, you know, something that adds on to my sort of BTCC CV.
I was about to say, Tom, now it's back to 20 minutes of bash and crash 3 times a day.
But did you see the start of the race? That's what this looked like in nice cars. You know, the start of this, when I was watching on the telly, was really impressive. I was thinking, do you know what, this BTCC stuff I've been doing for a long time might actually come in handy.
I think it probably did. It probably would have done. Yeah, hit yourself in an A6 next year, Tom. Best luck, and hope you get out for the finish.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
D1 second place, Heindorf. Thank you, Nick, for putting me right on that. There is the quarter of the race so far. It's like BTCC, except in nice cars. I'm not sure Mr. Alan Gow will appreciate that, Mr. Onslow-Cole.
Put that in your BTCC marketing literature.
It's like endurance racing, but the cars aren't so nice. It doesn't work the other way around, does it? It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
Can I revise my previous statement, by the way, as to the car most likely to actually next take a place?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Florian Strauss, because he's absolutely reeling in Tony Hughes at the moment. 21.7 seconds the gap now between the 123 Nissan and Tony Hughes' 2008 vintage, I'm told, Ginetta.
Not a pass for class position, but for 25th overall.
But it would be the SP2 leader overtaking the second place in SP3. We were just talking about Nissan.
You see what happens if you say it 3 times into the mirror?
Suddenly the shopkeeper appears.
Yes, absolutely. It works that way. How bizarre is that? We'll get a quick word with Darren Cox in a moment or two's time. Come and sit down, Darren, as the gap between Pierre Caffer and Nicky Pastorelli has just about stable. Oh no, it hasn't. It's come down to 34 seconds. So Caffer is charging on in 5th position. Welcome back to Darren Cox, global motorsport guru for Nissan. no chickens being counted at this point, but got to be relatively happy.
It really has been an endurance race in some of those other classes. I walked through the paddock this morning. It looked like something out of Mad Max. You know, there was cars all over the place in various bits of disassemble. The, snow, the sand was coming off the desert. It really was something you expect Mel Gibson to pop up and be there. But it has been a bloody tough race. And the thing is, we don't quite understand why, because the temperatures haven't been that hot, and yet there seems to be, more durability issues than there have been in the past of this race.
There is Pierre Caffer charging towards the back of Nicky Pastorelli in the 21 Corvette. Out goes one of the myriad of Nissan Super Cobras. You've had experience of one of those cars, decent little endurance cars.
That was a Seat,
Seat.
Super Cobra. You just said Nissan.
Did I?
Yeah.
See, everything's Nissan when you're here, Darren.
That's very good, isn't it? There's the Nissan 911.
Yeah. See how you've indoctrinated me.
Yeah, no, those Super Cobras are very good cars. Yes, I was actually exchanging text messages with the guy I shared that car with, actually just asking him which car we're going to race in next year. Here.
Aston Martin number 17, Darrell O'Young in 12th position at the moment, turning some decent times, 2:02.560. How important is it then for Nissan to be at the head of this field in the A6 category and racing against those 911s, whoever makes them, the Mercedes-Benz AMGs, Aston Martin Vantages, and it's a car that you perhaps wouldn't immediately, Nissan is a brand that you perhaps wouldn't immediately associate with being competition to Aston Martin, Ferrari et al.
Well, normally, as you know, John, we race the GTR against these cars at the front of races, such as Bathurst 12 Hours, which is coming up. We're in the Malaysian 12 Hours, the 12 Hours Sepang in the middle of the year, and of course in the Blancpain and FIA Sprint Series last year. We're right up the pointy end with the GT3 car racing against these guys. Just for this weekend, we normally bring the 370Z GT4 cars here. It's a great training tool. It's actually, in this specification, quite difficult to drive, and that means it's a brilliant tool for our new drivers to understand and learn.
This event has been so much a big part of GT Academy, and the event has changed, GT Academy has changed. Is it still as relevant as the quote-unquote prize drive for GT Academy?
Well, I've spent quite a bit of time this morning talking to our driver coaches and to the drivers, the new guys, and the experience that they're getting here with all the traffic and the long nights, as you've explained previously, is invaluable.
There was our leader, Christian Engelhardt, possibly nursing a gearbox. You're a fan of this sport as well as being immersed in it for your job. This is the worst time and the best time. 90 minutes to go, you're leading the race, and you've got a car with maybe a sick gearbox. How horrid's that?
This is why I'm up here, because I couldn't stand it in the garage anymore.
Really?
Ricardo de Villa hopping around. The guy's been in motor racing for over 50 years, probably nearer 100, and he's like a cat on a hot tin roof. His nicotine consumption's gone up, which is amazing that he can do that. His coffee consumption's gone up, and this is a horrible time of the year. We've got a couple of niggling problems on our car, and if the leader's also got some problems, it's a horrible thing at this time of the race.
Now, that is the Klaus Koch pit, the number 11 car, and as you can see, they're doing some remedial work as well. That's a pit stop at the end of the race for the Mercedes-Benz. There's nothing you can do at this point, though. You've got to just leave it in the hands of the drivers and hope that they listen to what Bob Neville tells them to do.
Yeah, and they are. The great that I've just been out corner watching, and these guys are really taking it easy. They're not taking any risks whatsoever in traffic. And you can see Florian has just done a 2:21. He can get down to an 11. So they're really taking a lot of effort to stay out of the way and keep the gearbox and every other component in place.
Darren Cox with us here in the box. Thanks for joining us. Don't bite your nails too much. Go and have a word with the responsible adults before you disappear. We've got an hour and 25 minutes of racing still to go from the 2014 Dunlop Dubai 24 Hours, and it's all live right here. There's going to be some twists and turns, you just know it. One of our camera cars, the Red Camel, Netherlands .nl, rather, Jordan's .nl car out on the circuit, As Claudia Hurtgen now decides to pick up the pace. I love the idea that Darren Cox would rather be up here than on the pit wall at the moment, because it's just too tense.
The bottom of the top 10 is extremely close as well, John, with just half 14.10 and 8.88. The first three cars in the A6 AM class, not quite close enough to get them on one camera shot, but just 9 seconds separating the Lamborghini number 10 from the 888 Ferrari with Mohamed Jawa at the wheel at the moment.
You were talking about A3, A6 class.
A6 AM.
Yeah, that's... that wasn't a commercial plane, was it? It's an A330 Tanker. Yeah, I thought that. I was looking at that thinking, oh, it's an Airbus, but not as you know it. So the Royal Australian Air Force have a base and a training area not so far away from here, and that's where that one was headed. You get motor racing and aviation at the same place.
Always like that.
We'll rejoin our TV colleagues in just a moment. Claudia Hurtgen picks up the pace. We've got an hour and 23 minutes left. RadioLeMans.com and www.24hseries.com, right through to the checkered flag and beyond here for the final countdown of the 2014 Dunlop Dubai 24 hours here at the Autodrome at Dubai. There is Claudia Hurtgen, who is reeling off these quick laps at the moment.
What's impressive with that is, apart from the fact that Claudia is still fresh enough to set fast laps, is that the car itself is fit enough to do it. And you sort of think, you know, the car has been turning laps for as many kilometres as it has, and it's still capable of lapping faster than it has throughout the whole race. Fantastic stuff.
So here we are with the 152 Optimum Motorsport, and I'm with Joe Osborne. This, of course, was the pole-sitting car in class, and even I know that's not how a car's supposed to look. First of all, what caused this bit of damage?
Well, I wish we knew what happened. It was sometime in the night, and we came in for our pit stop, and we were missing quite a lot of our car. No contact or anything. It kind of sums up our race. It wasn't pretty, and it wasn't very clever either. And, I took the first stint, as you said, from pole, and it was nice, and everything was fine, and it went downhill quite quickly from then. We lost a wheel, we lost an oil cooler, and then we lost the alternator as well. So I think we're about an hour and a half in the pits before 6 hours, and the problem is when you use your lock-up like that too early, you're always going to have smaller problems, and yeah, we finished up by blowing the engine up. So yeah, not a great race.
I take it that means with the engine blown and not long to go that the car's done, but fun while it was running?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the engine's the only thing that powers it. We tried Flintstone power, my feet are too tired, so we gave up on that. But yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant event, I must say. Graventic and all the marshals do a great job here to make it a really fun event, as you said. So it's the start of the season. Lee and I are doing British GT together and Z4 AAA, so we're looking forward to that. And this is holiday with a bit of motorsport attached to it.
Joe, thank you very much. And you told me a story about last year, John. He said, you know, we've got the camels coming soon. Apparently, he took some of the camel waste and packed it in the mechanic's toolbox, and it spent the 2 months in the container coming back for the mechanic to open when he got back to the building. I'm not sure. I'm surprised he's back for a second year.
Very, very evil stuff. Jan Magnussen is on a mission at the moment to prove what the number 30 Ram Racing Ferrari can do. 2 minutes, .842 is that car's fastest lap of the race. There are the ships of the desert. They've been refueled and they are ready to go for the podium celebrations. If you haven't seen that, stay with us after the checkered flag. It's worth watching. I don't think there is anywhere else in the way. You can have cowboy hats at Kota for Formula One, but here we have camels, and there is nothing that quite trumps that. Jan Magnussen in 17th position, by the way, at the moment in that Ram Racing car that looked so good halfway through the race. Jan 40 minutes into his stint. But keeping a note of Nicky Pastorelli and Pierre Caffer.
About 23 seconds now, John, the gap there.
Pierre's due to stop shortly. It is 24 seconds. You're spot on the money there. And Nicky's due to stop as well. They are both A6 Pro cars, and this is for 4th position overall. There is Claudia Herdgen, who's been putting some fast laps in as well. At 120, if you brimmed it, you could probably get an A6 car to the end from here, Paul.
Just a couple more minutes is what you need, really. I was about to say that from 12:45 onwards, so within the next 5 minutes, then yes, you can start working that as your final stop. But just for the moment, it's a bit too early.
As Claudia Herdgen looks to be unlapping herself from Jerome Blakemolen. She's caught the Mercedes-Benz.
One quick one, John. It's the A6M category again, and these are the top 3 there, winning 7th, 8th and 9th overall, separated by 33 seconds. The top 3.
And that one's going to go to the flag, isn't it? And
Without a doubt.
What will decide that is what happens in the pit stops, the final set of pit stops, how quickly you can turn the car around, how quickly you can get the fuel in, and what we don't know is how much fuel there is aboard each of those cars, because it might be that the one with the most fuel aboard is the one that spends the least time in the pits and the one that gets out quickest.
In the A3T category, down in 32nd, 33rd and 34th position, or at least that's where they have been, there's been a change, and there is a new leader as we come round to the last pit stops for those cars. Michael Klogler is in the pit lane in the 97, and Gabby Udji is not feeling great. She's feeling tired, but she is leading the category now in the number 90 BMW, the Racing Divas car. Us a pit stop. We know that Sandra van der Sloot is going to get back into that car to take it to the end, so it's a slightly unreal situation at the moment, but the good news is they have taken the lead. Good news, if you're following the 90 car, is that they have taken the lead on the pit stops, and Gabby is getting towards the last hour of the race where they can do the pit stop, put Sandra van der Sloot in. She's going to have to do probably about another half an hour in that car, and then Sandra will get in and charge to the end. Sandra very, very bullish, Graham, that that car could make it on pure speed.
Well, there you go. It's gone up already on the road at the moment from 4th position. The last we looked at it, what, 2 hours ago, John? Up into the lead of the class. And yes, that's a little bit affected by where we stand with the pit stops, but their pace is much, much better than the 2 cars that have been immediately ahead of them. 4, 5, 6 seconds a lap quicker. So if they continue at that pace, we could see something special again in this race. Paul.
The 997 class leader, car number 42, making its way down the pit lane at the moment. And this was the car, remember, that came in a little while ago, and we were umming and ahhing about whether it was going to be able to get to the flag or not. And that was only a few laps, well, I say a few laps ago. It was probably about 20 minutes ago. It hasn't been able to get to the flag.
And it's going straight
to the fuel. So they've put the tyres on it to get it to the flag. Now they're topping it up with fuel. Now it can go to the flag. So the 997 class leader in 13th place overall, with Christopher Beechan-Rum at the wheel of that car, heading off. So far, things looking good for them.
I kind of like that strategy. Get the fuel in so that whatever happens now, you know you're okay to the end. You can't be spoiled. You can't get on the wrong side of a code 60. You know, nothing can happen. So all you've got to do is keep your nose clean. As into the pit lane comes the 4th place car of Nicky Pastorelli.
That will put Pierre Caffer up into 4th place for the moment, but Pierre Rose is a stop.
Yeah.
So actually, it's the pit stop time here that's going to matter more than anything.
Nicky Pastorelli had just done about an hour and 10 minutes in that Corvette number 21. So he cannot go to the end in that car. He has to...
He's already got out of it.
He's already got out of it, thank you. And the issue there, of course, with no disrespect to Nicky's teammates, is Nicky is by far the quickest driver. Pierre Caffer has just got in, or at least an hour ago had got in, so he can have another 50 minutes or so in that car, but he can't finish the 458 off.
We've also got the 6th and 7th place cars in the pit lane at the moment as well. John, number 27, Claudia Herdgen, brings the Valkenforst Motorsport BMW Z4 into the pits. And as well, the spirit of the race car, the number 14 car of Aaron Scott comes to the pit lane as well. So final pit stops happening all round.
Talking about the spirit of the race, we've got over an hour to go, but this has been a long race and there's lots to talk about. We on RadioLeMans.com traditionally have our Spirit of the Race award, the Robin Goodman Award, named after one of the most august members of the RadioLeMans.com team, and one of the original members at that. And I'll be asking everyone here for their nominations, and then you can vote by Twitter at Radio Le Mans with the hashtag SOTR. It's completely unofficial, just for a bit of fun. Interesting to know what you think about it. You don't have to vote for our nomination, so in the next 15 or 20 minutes, guys, I'll be asking you for your nominations for that.
And it can be a team or a group or something.
A team, a group, a driver,
yeah.
A camel. Really?
No.
Hasn't been in the race.
No.
Yet.
Red camels.
Red camels, 2 red camels in the race. Into the pit lane there comes Pierre Caffer.
Very fast indeed.
Now that's how to come into the pit lane. And down to 60, down to 40, and on the 40 speed limiter into the pit lane. Now, will he jump out of this now and then perhaps have a shot at the end? Or
Seafried will get in.
You think Seafried will get in? I've been impressed with Seafried's times.
Right. Very good.
As it comes into a stop, this is the 458 Ferrari we're talking about, 5th position with it's actually just taken 4th position. Nicky Pastorelli in the pit lane, and Nick Damon is down at the Ferrari pit.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting angle that Pierre attacked the pit box, made Jürgen jump out of the way. He's now helping in his teammate. I think it's Marco Seefried who gets in the car.
Should be.
There are 2 on his helmet, and he's the second person on the roof rail, as it would be. There's a big dent in the car. That slip indeed from the Ferrari, which has been climbing back through the field.
No tyre. Did he get tyres there?
Yes, he did, yeah. He got a lovely set of new tyres. And of course, it is the car that's easiest to remember what it is, because it is 458 and it is a 458.
I do like that a lot. I think that's a very, very good idea. Thank you, Nick. The car improving then is the new A6 ARM leader, which is the number 10, Jeroen Mul, in the Lamborghini. 24 seconds ahead of Mohamed Jawa when they crossed the line, but the 888 is now in the pit lane for what might just be its last pit stop.
Definitely be its last pit stop.
Okay. Good enough for me. New set of tyres then for the 458. A new set of Dunlops. So Pierre Caffer, after a string of fastest laps, when he first got in and did that stint, I think out of his first half dozen laps, 4 of them were quickest laps for that car of the race. Really affable driver. I was about to say young man, but he's been around for quite a while now. I still remember him as a young driver, watching him in a GT car lapping prototypes around a very, very wet Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit in 2000 in a ELMS race. Let's go down and speak to him now with Nick Damon.
Pierre, obviously old friend of Jürgen, they're having a bit of a chat together. Pierre, that was a fantastic stint there in the 458.
Yes, I have to say I really enjoy to drive this Ferrari. I mean, Ferrari, they always build really nice cars, and in the past I have won so many races with a Ferrari, and it's really a pleasure to drive it, and especially for this German team, GT Cars, operated by Rinaldi Racing. I have to say they did an awesome job. For everybody, it's the first 24-hour race. For all of our drivers, except Marco, it's the first time a 24-hour race. And now we are P4 overall. I mean, that shows the potential of the car and of the team. And thanks to everybody who prepared me such a nice car.
What's it like hopping out of a P2 car in WEC to effectively a GT3 car at Dubai?
Oh, well, it's quite exciting. As I said, I really love Ferrari, and it's always special. When you drive a Ferrari, it's unique, you know. When you step in the car, you always get the goosebumps. When you go out, and it's really emotional.
It did seem quite crazy out there for a while, certainly at the start.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It was sometimes it was quite hard in the traffic or to manage the traffic, but you really have to read the traffic, but sometimes, you know, with the front wheel cars, especially with a lower category, there's so much speed difference that you only have to decide. You make a decision and then you cannot change your decision anymore.
Yeah, best luck. Hope you make the end. You're doing, an hour and 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, cross fingers. I mean, that would be a really great result for the team and for the boys, which they work really hard for that.
Thanks, Pierre.
I wonder if Mark will charge as hard as he has just done. It's Alex van der Hoff that has got into the Corvette. I would say, Paul, that Marco Seyfried might have the legs on Alex.
I'll go along with that, yes, absolutely. Marco Seyfried then. Great to hear the German Pierre Kaffer talking so enthusiastically about Ferrari and the goosebumps that you'd expect to get from an emotional Italian. If it had been Jimmy Bruni saying all of those words, it was like he'd nicked his script, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Pierre has been around for quite a long time now. Very good development driver. I feel an underrated driver. Glad to see him getting the chance. Oh, drama! Leader in SP category. This is the SP2 leader. This is Florian Strauss, and Darren Cox has just left us from Nissan, and this is the leader into the box. The bonnet comes up straight away. They have got laps on the field, some 11 laps on the next car, which is Jonathan Venter in the 150. Oh, now we've got to get someone down to find out what's happening there. Well, this race continues to throw the curveballs at us. Paul Truswell, another leader on the track, and that's going round very nicely. That's the 66 car, sorry, not the leading car, Jürgen Harig. But in the pit lane, problems for Nissan.
Eternal optimist that I am, that strikes me as being a bit of a systems check. I think they've probably just gone to have a look, get the bonnet up, check everything that's going on, and then just find out what's making sure that everything is okay there. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong, but we'll wait and see when we get some information from the pit lane.
But there's something wrong with the other Nissan, John, because that one's now stopped on circuit at turn 8. The 126 car is now stopped.
That was in third position in class, and all of a sudden Nissan's dreams of 2 370Zs on the podium are unravelling. What a difficult mistress, what a cruel mistress endurance racing can be. And the recovery has already commenced on that car. Paul's got them through the binos.
I tell you what, I can't see any recovery from here. I can see a Ford Transit van, 300 yards, 400 yards away. But at the moment, the car is sitting
yes. It's where that
in...
BMW stopped early on. You can see where the oil dries down. It's exactly the same place.
Splendid isolation at the moment, though.
Entering to turn number 8.
Here comes the silver Ford, or whatever. No, it's a Hyundai.
It's a Hyundai i800.
Yes. And the leaders in the pits as well, along with the second place car. So everything's happening at once, but both the first and second place cars in for their final pit stops.
If they can get it out, it will still retain its third position because it's got 45 laps in hand over the fourth place car.
First and second place overall in the pit lane. Nick Damon.
Yeah, the 123 has got a starter motor issue, but Bob Neville convinced they can fix that no problem. I don't think he's quite so convinced about the 126 though, which has stopped out on the track, and that's actually taking up all his processing time at the moment to work out what to do with that, whereas the mechanics get to work mending the starter motor issue.
Is the starter motor issue using the Birmingham screwdriver, a sort of 4-pound lump hammer?
No, actually, it's a selection of mechanics underneath the car unscrewing things properly. It's quite depressing. But Lucas Ordonez has got into the car, or will get into the car, I would think, to take it home. But before then, they're going to need to work out exactly why it's not starting.
Well, look at this shot that's coming through now. Thanks, Nick. And just on the right-hand side, there is the 126 with the Hyundai tow vehicle, which has now got it fastened on. The 150 Audi is circulating. That's the Jonathan Venter car that could be the beneficiary of that. They're in third position. Eric Behrens in second in the SP3 category. Those guys are heading towards better results, perhaps, as the Hyundai tows the Nissan back towards the pits.
Meanwhile, the final pit stop for the first and second place cars completed without mishap, certainly from the point of view of how long they both were. Short pit stops to change tyres and drivers, and then the cars heading off to the Dubai Autodrome fuel station to get their final top-up of fuel, and then they'll be setting off on their way once again for the final stints, and then we'll be able to just confirm who the drivers are in those two cars. Meanwhile, the dramas of Nissan continue, and
we've also got the new leader in AM on pit lane at the moment, Paul.
Yeah, that's the Lamborghini number 10, the Reino's Lippert entered car, which will lose the lead. Actually, it'll be a close run thing whether he loses the lead of the class or not, as the Lamborghini number 10 undergoes its pit stop. Whilst in the pits we see the final stop for the Car Collection Motorsport car number 45, the Porsche 997 Cup car, which is currently being driven by Miro Konopka, the Czech Republic driver, who is getting out of the car. And also in the pits at the moment is one of the Black Falcon Porsches, being the 156 car, this being the 991 Carrera Cup car. I must say, of all the cars out there, that probably looks the least battle-scarred, although there's a tension going on to the front left wheel hub.
Cursed by proxy. Let's go down to Nick Damon, who's watching that pit stop.
The number 45 here has a significant amount of duct tape, so I'm very fond of it. It's got both the arches on the front left and the rear left are effectively held on by large amounts of plastic tape you can buy from any local hardware store. Haven't seen any tyre wraps, and there's a lack of a 4-pound lump hammer, but 1 out of 3 ain't bad. But as Paul rightly says, all the cars look grubby, grimy. They've all got little marks on them from minor nudges and comings together. So it has been a much tougher 24 hours than I think anyone was expecting, or we've seen in our previous 2 visits.
I think it's partly inevitable because of the number of cars, Nick. We saw this last year. We had 80-something cars starting. 77 cars started this year's race. And everybody was commenting, and that you've been the recipient of many of the comments, that early stages there was a lot of use of elbows in the rush hour, and
very good.
It is sometimes the only way to make your presence felt, and because there are the wide runoff areas, people are perhaps a little bit less risk averse, shall I put it that way, than they might otherwise be.
In the pit lane, the 156 Black Falcon Porsche and the 126 Nissan 370 has made it back on the end of a tow rope, and the guys are going to work straight away at the front end of that. Vincent Rademacher in for fuel in the 136, the second place in SP2. That's the Mosler, and that is the car that would benefit from the 1-2-3 issues. It's a long way back. It's basically an hour down the road, so the 1-2-3 looks fairly secure. I told you would do it earlier on. I'm completely confused SP2s and SP3, so I apologise. In has come Jerome Blakemolen, Paul. In the third place, Mercedes taking up its place just ahead of the teammate Black Falcon car. This is Jerome Blakemolen, who will be getting out of the car. And I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Khaled Al-Kubaisi getting back into that car. Drove a brilliant double stint in that car, whilst the number 1 car was still in the race. He really gave it some in the number 2 car, and kept it right on the pace for a double stint. And so Al-Kubaisi, I would expect, getting into that car now for what will be the final stint. Jerome Blakemolen helping with strapping him in. Slams the gull wing door shut. And away goes the number 2 Mercedes. Bit of a wobble as it goes over the edge of the pit apron. Marc Basseng now has been plugged into the 38 Munich Racing Al Incal Mercedes-Benz. Rob Huff, having been motivated in the pit lane before he was thrown out, has got out of that car and now can talk to Nick Damon.
Rob, I remember when we spoke to you on the free test day, I said, I'll be bothering you a lot during the weekend. I didn't really believe it. I thought, they'll trundle around and that we will have a bit of fun. But you've had a pretty good run, hour to go. Second place is looking okay.
Don't put the commentator's curse on it, will you? Forgot.
I'm an interviewer, you're fine. Yeah. It's John who curses things. I get things wrong.
I'll let you off. Yeah, I mean, so far, so good. Everything's going well, but there's still an hour to go. And... you know, anything can go wrong at any point. So Mark's gone out to finish off. I feel like a bit of a broken man. I think I've done 10 hours in the car. So I think we're up to 18 and a half hours of endurance racing in the last 4 weeks now. And we've got a bit more to go yet. But, you know, the team have done a fantastic job. You know, everything that can be done has been done. You know, the guys have had pretty much no sleep. We've had no sleep. And we're at the front. So hopefully we'll be riding a camel.
No, it's interesting. When you were about to get into that last stint, I looked at you and you looked absolutely shattered. Now, I've heard a rumour that to get you motivated, your team showed you pictures of a smiling Ivan Muller with his World Championship trophies. Is that right?
No. Although that probably would be good inspiration, I'm sure. It definitely perked me up a bit. You know, the engineers on the radio are great. You know, they keep you motivated, they keep you going, keep you up to date with everything that's going on, and you constantly want to push. You know, I think we're about 4 laps down on the lead, but 3 laps up from third. So, you know, we're fairly comfortable, but we're still pushing hard.
Rob, best of luck. Thanks.
I do like Rob Huff, and he does have the Huffy registration number on his bright yellow Corvette that he drives around in the UK. Say it quite often around Northamptonshire. A little less often than when he was at RML, of course, but he could well be a decent endurance racer. 58 minutes to go. Jim Roller's back in. Graham Goodman has stepped out. I did say I'd be asking for nominations for Spirit of the Race. That'll come in the next few moments, and we'll allow you to vote at Radio Le Mans on Twitter with the hashtag SOTR. Here's how it stands then, with the last hour of racing still to be completed. The number 20 Stadler Motorsport Porsche leads by 3 and a bit laps from Marc Basseng in the 38 Mercedes-Benz in second. Jerome Blinkenmolen being fuelled, or at least the number 2 car is being fuelled to the end of the race. And back a further lap.
They're just about on schedule to complete 600 laps, John, which would be the same as they completed last year.
Further back down the field, the battles continue. There are a lot of cars on similar laps. I'm still watching that A3T battle from 32nd rather, 34th and 35th. Gabby is still in the Divas car, the number 90 BMW. She's got about another 10 minutes to go, I reckon, before they throw Sandra van der Sloot at that car and try and hold on to that victory.
What a great comeback that is for them, crashing very early in this race, ripping the front of the car off, and now they have come back to lead their class.
And there are the top 10 as they stood about 5 minutes ago at the start of the final hour of racing. So 56 minutes of racing to go. You wouldn't put the house on any of those results staying the same. Marc Basseng has been set on hunt to kill mode, and Ralph Anishkin is the man who will be looking nervously in his rear view mirror. The last 56 minutes still to come from Dubai.
Yeah, and just to confirm those driver changes then that happened as a result of those final pit stops, they all kind of happened on top of each other. But yeah, Rolf Ineichen then taking over at the wheel of the number 20 car from Christian Engelhardt. Marc Basseng in for Rob Huff in the 38 allinkle.com Mercedes. Khaled Al-Kubaisi into the number 2 Black Falcon Mercedes. Marco Seyfried, we told you about in the 458, and Alex van der Hoff in the Corvette. Henry Valkenhorst, the man of the team, taking over at the wheel of the number 27 Valkenhorst Motorsport BMW GT. That's in 6th place. And Jordan Groger in the 888 Ferrari of the Dragon Racing team, leading the A6 AM and in 7th place overall, not with really any prospect of improving his place in the overall positions, but leading the AM category with now very nearly a minute of an advantage ahead of Jeroen Mul, who's at the wheel of the Lamborghini. And in the Ferrari number 14, the Spirit of the Race Ferrari, 3rd in AM, he is just 2 seconds behind now, and that's probably one worth looking out for in the closing stages. The Ferrari number 14 with Malinkov Ilya, the Russian driver, hunting down Jeroen Mul in the Lamborghini. John, that's one in the top 10 to change before the end, I would think, or to potentially change before the end, looking for a Ferrari 1-2 in the A6 AM class.
Thank you, Paul Trustwell. There is Sandra van der Sloot ready to get in and do the final stint in the number 90. As they're waiting for that car to come in. All right, gents. Nominations for Spirit of the... Actually, we'll wait till we come back from the break so that we can do it on the TV as well. Spirit of the Race nominations coming up shortly. You don't have to... You'll have to vote for them, of course, but you can have your own.
If Phil has already told you this, stop me. Biggest crowd ever for this event. He said that all the car parks are full, and they're having to put them in the amphitheater.
Just over 50 minutes to go, and the word from the organisers here at the Dubai Autodrome is that in the 9th year of the Dunlop Dubai 24 Hours, we have filled the car parks. And Jim Roller, the biggest crowd ever. I haven't got a figure yet, but cars in the overflow off to our right.
Yeah, Phil Anson, our erstwhile local knowledge guy, was telling me earlier that they've never, the parking lot at the end of the pits and paddock area, they've never filled it up. That's completely full. They've had to close it. The overflow is almost full, and now they're starting to park people in the amphitheater. So crowd coming in for the final stages of what has been an absolutely stunning 24-hour race here in Dubai.
Racing Divas into the pit. Sandra van der Sloot helps Gabby get out. Nick Damon is, strangely, down with the Divas.
I'm actually talking to our very good Faisal bin Laden about what's going on in his racing career, but luckily I happen to be here as well. And the one thing I will say is all the hearts, which are, of course, their personal the sponsors who've helped get this car here, are all very, very grubby, but they're still shining out in pink. One of them I can see is Coronel, so I assume that's Tom Coronel's put a few quid into this. And Gabby gets out. She looks very hot. We know she's had a long turn. Sandra's going to take one through. This seems to be a routine stop, just getting Sandra fitted into the car. It'll be interesting to see how it winds out. I assume she's going to need to take some fuel. Will it start? Yes-ish. And away it goes. No, bump start. Come on, boys. That's it. That's it, they got it. I think she probably had it in 3rd. We've agreed it's 3rd now, haven't we?
Right, when you're bump starting a diesel with high compression,
Sixth.
then you want to get it in the highest gear you possibly can do. Faisal bin Laden, the Saudi part of the Saudi Falcons team here last year. No Saudi Falcons this year. Very disappointing. We thought we might get Faisal in this race, but he's been testing his Carrera Cup car, Nick. Yeah, apparently, actually. Do you want to have a word with him? Yeah, that's a very good idea. Faisal, we may as well take the advice. Faisal, we're really disappointed not to see you at the race this year, but you had a couple of options that disappeared, apparently.
Yeah, well, they disappear when you don't have enough funding to do so.
So how's the career going? We saw you, obviously, supporting the WEC at Bahrain. More Porsche races coming up?
Yeah, we have actually, we're doing the full championship. And it finishes in April, so we have a race next week in Doha, and the end of February also we have a race in Dubai again here, and then the last one is in Bahrain.
Faisal, best of luck. But you've got to be here for the 10th running of the 24-hour in, 52 weeks' time.
Faisal bin Laden from the Saudi Falcons team. All right, guys, I give you fair warning. Let's have some nominations for the Spirit of the Race. Jim Roller?
This is easy, the 28 car.
28 car, the
Ginetta.
The Ginetta, the works Ginetta, with Lawrence Tomlinson and the rest of the guys.
Lawrence Tomlinson, it's the car with Kushti's photo on the top of it, and I think that that whole team coming here with the heavy hearts they did, and then persevering with a smile through all of it that they have gone through this weekend, hands down for me.
Paul Truswell?
I think I've got to say Stadler Motorsport. They've just approached the race with such calmness somehow. I mean, I don't know what's been going on in the garages. I've not been down there. But they just seem to have grasped the spirit of the race. And they've led the last, God knows how many hours. Certainly the last 4 or 5 hours have been led by the car, the number 20 car. The whole of the team have pulled well together. And they've done the job that they came here to do. And that, for me, is what the spirit is all about. It's coming here to win.
Nick Damon, your nomination for Spirit of the Race?
The number 12 Viper. They have tried so hard with that car so often. We've had a couple of... they've even got a sense of humour. They've got a printer out the back. You saw the one of the notices, which is... we'll get this car going somehow. The other notice you probably didn't see is they'd stuck on the back of one of their mechanics in a form of kick me message. It said, "I'm in love with a racing diva." And they then made, because they're in the next pit, so they're obviously having some good fun, working well. And they had the world's tallest team man, who's about 6'6", and he just was so he was so chuffed when he got the car out after about 12 hours after its first problem, and so crestfallen when finally the recalcitrant little bee decided it wasn't going to take the flag.
Graham Goodwin, dailysportscar.com.
Well, I was going to say the 28 car for exactly the same reasons as Jim, but I'm going to offer you two other opportunities here. Right. Number one is actually the Black Falcons team, the Abu Dhabi Racing. For a similar reason, they came here with emotion, actually. They've lost a good friend this year, or last year rather, and they came and made it very clear they were racing in tribute for Sean Edwards too. So I think that's equally as important. The other one may be a bit different, and that's Dragon Racing. Because I think, more than any other team in this paddock, they've introduced the spirit of endurance racing to this place, and they've run with it. They've raced well, they've raced hard, they've raced extremely professionally, and they had their fair share of bad luck here. So there's a few options for you. I think I know which way this is going to go, and I wouldn't disagree with it, but I think there's lots of all the right stuff here. I actually really like Paul's nomination. There's a team, this race bit hard last year, and they've come back and they've performed impeccably. So on every single count, there's something to look for here.
For once, I'm not actually going to nominate anybody because there are so many great stories here. I'm going to throw all of those suggestions, vote for them or vote for someone else, to the audience, listeners and viewers. It's at Radio Le Mans, all in small, on Twitter, and use the hashtag SOTR for Spirit of the Race. SOTR. Just nominate who you think, and the responsible adult in the next 45 minutes or so will collate and put that together.
How about the floor of the commentary booth? Is that allowed as a nomination? Because without that, the whole thing would have fallen apart.
Hey, it certainly would have. I don't know if Bruce is in the pit lane, actually, and he might have a nomination. Bruce, you're in there? No, not at the moment. I thought we were a little bit early for him. So hashtag SOTR, your nomination for the Spirit of the Race and the Robin Goodman Award. The Robin Goodman Award for the Spirit of the Race at Radio Le Mans. Get those coming in, and we'll do that in about 40 to 45 minutes time before the end of the race. Let's head down to Nick Damon, who has another interview.
Nicky Pastorelli, the car started on pole, it's now running fifth. I mean, you haven't got the most high-profile driving team, so are you happy with that?
If we finish like this, I would be really, really happy. I really cross my fingers that we will. Our main goal was to finish the race, and if we do it, we are happy, especially if it is in fifth place, which for us is really good.
And a bit of personal glory, I think you're going to get fastest lap.
Yeah, we have the fastest lap of the race, pole position and fastest lap of the race, so that's good.
I mean, it does seem actually the Corvettes run reasonably trouble-free. Have you had any issues during the 23 hours so far?
No, we had one small issue with a reserve fuel pump, but it was just a small thing, and that's it.
Nicky, it's really great to have a Corvette here. Thanks. Hope you get that 5th place. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
So there is the number 21 Corvette, and there's a tear in the eye of Jim Roller as the Detroit Iron trundles around with pole position, and so far the fastest lap of the race. Might just be a couple of steps off the podium, but that old girl has performed well, and do you know what, in a certain way it sort of sums up a little bit the problems that Detroit have had in the last few years. They've economically and politically been left out in the cold, and there's a car from 2006 that proves there's still a lot of worth in that car, the old GT1. It's come out, it's competed against much newer and more sophisticated machinery. It's a little leaner and meaner than it would have been in 2006, and isn't that the truth as well? It's the guys over in Detroit working hard at GM, and Pratt & Miller, who are just up the road on the ring road effectively around Detroit, have a fantastic facility, and who put this car together in the first place will well, Gary Pratt will be looking at this result and thinking, hello, yeah, we did that one right.
That's where that old girl went.
Yeah, chassis 005. Nick Damon says,
I'm just wondering, the more experienced driving team, say a Black Falcons driving team, could it have won?
That's a very, very valid question. If you'd had 4 Nicky Pastorellis in that, there is a possibility, certainly, of a podium finish, I would say. But that's not what they came for. That, you know, in fairness, Nick, that's not what they came for.
No, exactly, and I think what they've achieved is fantastic. I think they certainly... I think perhaps their crowning achievement was to really quite annoy the totally underfinanced Team Abu Dhabi team, who were very upset that they had a 7-year-old GT1 car and were allowed to play and get pole. But...
annoy.
But it was great. I mean, I think, you know, Nicky's obviously... I mean, if anybody's sitting there watching thinking that he's certainly the person who's really enhanced his CV probably the most this weekend, I'd say.
Well, I've got a couple of nominations. If we had a driver of the race, and we don't, but particularly people who have done that, who have enhanced their CV, Conor De Felipe, for sure, Nicky Pastorelli, Sebastian Ash,
Dane
Cameron, absolutely.
I know he's well known, but he's done well.
And actually, Rob Huff.
Oh, yeah.
Huffy basically showing that he is not a 20-minute specialist. He's a guy. You've got to say, if you were looking, say you were Ram Racing, this is 2 years ago, you were looking for a guy to put in a GTE car, you could do a lot worse.
And Huffy, of course, will be going to Daytona as well.
I know you were kidding when you said the tear in your eye. You know who I really do have the tear in the eye for is Aston Martin. I was really hopeful that they would, you know that's my aspirational car, and I was really hopeful that they would get at least a podium.
Yeah, 100th anniversary last year didn't work out the way they wanted. It's a big anniversary for Pro Drive this year. Is it 30 years, I think it is, of Pro Drive this year, believe it or not.
Sounds about right.
David Richards set up that team. It seems ridiculous to think that it is 30 years ago, but when you look at the numbers, it's about right. Rolf Anishin is still leading, 2:05.140 from Mark Peseng in second place. So, third place for the Mercedes-Benz of Khaled El Khabazi at the moment. Where are the battles? Well, fourth place has gone to Marco Seefried. The hard work put in by Pierre Caffer. Sorry, slight mental block there after being up for however many hours. As has been followed up by Marco Seefried, and Alex van der Hoff has had to cede fourth place at the moment.
Now over a minute behind, John. They are on the same lap, but a minute and 18 seconds behind.
Jordan Groger has retaken the AM category lead in the A6, the GT3 category in the Triple Eight, in 7th position for the Dragon Speed local team. And he's got almost a lap on the Lamborghini, which is now in second place, and that's done that on stealth.
Only half a lap, in fact, John. It's 52 seconds the last time they came across the line between 888 and number 10 in second place in the A6 AM class.
And there's only a further 21 seconds back to the number 14 car. So you've got about a minute and 10 seconds separating the top three after 23 hours and 20 minutes.
And for those following Nissan, and I know many of you are, the 123, fantastic piece of team management by Bob Neville. Lucas Ordóñez, the man who was the first GT Academy graduate, the Spaniard, who took a year out of his life to throw into GT Academy. He was at college and he put his whole life on hold to train on the PlayStation to give him a chance of winning that first competition. He did, and he has taken it on and gone on to stand on the podium at the world's greatest motor race at Le Mans. You can argue about that, but you'd be wrong. And he is given the honour of bringing the 1-2-3 car home in the lead at the moment of SP2.
And in third place in SP2 on the subject of the Nissans, in fact, just going across the start-finish line, as I start to talk about it, is the other Nissan in the hands of James Moffat, number 126, still third in its class following its little drama out on the track, still with a substantial advantage in the class over the next one up.
And James Moffat, one of the Talent Exchange Nissan Nismo athletes, normally drives the Nissan Altima, the Super V8 car in the Australian series, and we'll see the Nissan GT3, the Nismo Nissan GT3 GTR on the mountain at Mount Panorama Bathurst in less than a month's time here on RadioLeMans.com. Can't wait for that.
I think someone must have exchanged my talent at some point.
Yes. What did we get back for it, though, Paul? I'm not somebody's got mine. I don't know. I'm not sure I have a talent of anything except for not doing what my wife tells me to.
Oh, you have that talent?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's an absolute, that.
Yeah, I guess.
I try my best to forget that talent, but it keeps popping up. Eve claims I have selective deafness as well at times.
And calls mine selective hearing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
She can't quite process how that I can have so many things going on in my head when we're doing things like this and then not hear her ask me to help with the washing up. I don't know how that works, actually. Some kind of natural filter.
Anne doesn't understand how I can remember who won the 1963 Watkins Glen Grand Prix, but can't remember my sister's birthday.
Or to get the potatoes when you're at the supermarket.
That too.
Yeah. So you and I really were separated at birth, Mr. Roy.
I think so.
Quick shout, I think, for the Ram racing car. Jan Magnussen at the wheel of the number 30 Ferrari. One of the fastest cars on the circuit at the moment. Not quite, because that's Marco Seyfried at the moment in the 458. Well, the number 30 458, the silver car in Jan Magnussen's hands, just turning a 2 minutes 2.707. He's still in 17th place and still behind the number 4 Porsche of the Fach Auto team, Fach Auto Tech team, which Otto Kloos is driving. And either of those two cars could have been up there with the winners, but they weren't. But Jan Magnussen still pushing on as hard as he knows how, and is lapping very rapidly. As I say, the one who is fastest, Marco Seyfried, last lap, 2 minutes 0.964, 2/10ths of a second close to the time, the fastest time that car has done.
He hasn't given it up yet. And by the way, Jan Magnussen did put in the fastest lap in the 30 car at 2 minutes 0.842, and that wasn't that far away. Bruce Jones, we didn't get your nomination for the Spirit of the Race award.
Well, I was originally looking at Ram Racing because they did so much rebuilding and yet was so good in between, but I have to go for Car 144, the GC Automobile Factory, their third entry, because I'm sure they've rebuilt it every day since we've got to the circuit, and sometimes twice a day through the night. So the cars look great when they're going, but increasingly weighed down by gaffer tape, but they sound wonderful. But the best thing is you can take whole chunks of the car off and just stick another bit off one of the other 2 broken ones in the garage. So they get the spirit. But I wouldn't choose one.
No, Phoenix from the Flames. Thanks, Bruce, down there in the Powered by Nissan pit lane. Keep the nominations coming in. Something that we've mentioned or someone else, it's at Radio Le Mans on Twitter, and use the hashtag SOTR, Spirit of the Race. Just a bit of fun. Before it all gets very serious, I would like to say thanks to Phil Anson, who's standing to our left, who as ever has been a great help, and to Ulf, our liaison with our colleagues at television, who's done great. Jürgen has been our RF cameraman in the pits with Nick and Bruce, and to Florian and the rest of the team who've provided us and you with the pictures wherever you are around the world. The proof that some disparate people can come together and work in a common cause and put that together in an integrated broadcast plan that means that you, the fan, and the team's sponsors and the event can get something out of a 24-hour race that perhaps may look a little complicated from the outside. And trust me, the amount of wires and cables and that are around here, those TV guys have done a fabulous job. Gentlemen, ladies, we salute you. Thank you very much indeed, particularly all of our camera operators who stayed up all night for the streaming pictures. There is the Dragon Racing number 2, the 888, in class, leading 7th overall. The class is the amateur category. They could not be much closer. They are literally from round the corner in this area of the world. Jordan Groger, there's another young man who has stamped his name on this event and whose stock must surely be rising after that phenomenal run in the early morning, Paul, where he was quick and tactically the jokers, the breaking out of the brackets were used at exactly the right time.
Yeah, when the track was quiet and quick, it had rubbered in, it was giving you everything you put into it, and that enabled him really to kind of sign a mark of intent as to what that car was going to do. And it's deservedly leading the AM class. Just want to draw attention as well, we're talking about changes of position in the top 10. Well, we've had a new 10th place car because Dirk Werner in the number 76 BMW Z4, the car entered by Schubert Motorsport, or Team Schubert, has just taken over 10th place from number 66, the Porsche being driven at the moment by Göran Hering, and so BMW getting himself ahead of a Porsche. And that's a change not only for positioning the outright, but a change of class as well. And I don't know if Hering is going to be able to come back at him. I don't think so, because he's lapping some 8 seconds slower than Werner. And I think it's not possible for Werner to get any more places. He's pretty secure there in 10th place.
That's the only one of the major contenders, Paul, who had all those issues that's got back and stayed now in the top 10. You would expect the number 1 car did for a while, knocked on the door of the top 10, got into the top 10, but then had further issues. The 30 Ram Racing cars hovered around the bottom end of the teens. It was well down into the 20s at one stage, but that's got back up as far as 17th, but is unlikely to get much further up from there.
No, I don't think it will, but no, I think for my money that was another good performance from the Schubert BMW. Only a single car entrant this year, so it was always going to be struggling, and it was a good performance. It looked like it might be in a position where it might be able to get on the podium at one point during the race, but following those suspension problems, it was mainly suspension that did for it, both at the rear and at the front, whether as a result of being belted over curbs or just component failure, we weren't actually told, but suspension problems were in evidence there. And just look at the way that we see on the screen there, Marco Seyfried hurling the Ferrari up on the inside as he continues to lap as fast as anybody on the circuit, with, on that lap, the sole exception of Jan Magnussen.
The 2:01.783 on that last lap.
Oh,
so.
It was a quick one, yeah. The previous lap was a bit slower, but that one from Marco didn't hang around at all, did it? That was a real fast lap, Jim.
That's basically what Jordan Groger did. You guys were talking about it just a moment ago. They waited for the exact right time of day as far as temperatures and happy hour goes, but they also got some clear track. And the word went out, and he just started pounding out 3 or 4 really quick laps, and all of a sudden they were in contention, and no one could stop them. They steamrolled the amateurs.
Indeed. Another car that we've not really mentioned too much, but Emmanuel Collard in the Crubile Sport Porsche 997, another of the cars in the Perodo. That's going very well indeed, in 18th place overall.
Let's head down to the leader in the A6, the GT3 AM category. It is the number 7, the position 7, the 888 car. Here's Bruce Jones.
Mohamed Jawa, we don't want to count down to the end of the race, but you're leading the A6 AM class. Jordan Groger still driving around in the 888 Ferrari. How nervous are you feeling?
Very nervous. Actually, very nervous. I'm not looking at the screen, not looking at the times. Just want to wait to the finish, and I would like to know the result on the checkered track.
But barring disasters, Jordan Groger, the South African driver, will be in the car all the way to the finish, and then you will win the A6 AM class. Is that right?
Yes, he will finish the race. He will be all the way until the checkered track. I was before him in a double stint, and honestly, Jordan, Khaled, Fred, myself, we all drove really well. We were really, really lucky, really.
Now, what would this, if you win the class, what will this result mean to you and to Dragon Racing?
Well, to myself, it's my first endurance race ever, and first GT3 car that I drove in my life. I drove another car in the 12-hour, but I didn't manage to finish my stint. So this is really a big, I can't really express, I have no words to say, but it's a great feeling.
Don't worry, the look on your face says it all. Best of luck. Well done, Mohamed.
It's a strange mix of excitement and utter and total fear, isn't it? An apprehension when you're leading your category with 28 minutes to go.
I think it's a very strange thing. Everybody I've ever spoken to always remembers their first 24-hour race. There's something else that kind of takes over, and you can tell from Mohamed there that it's going to stay with him for the rest of his life, this race, and all of the emotions that build up through that 24 hours, you know, and at the end of the race it all starts pouring out, but you can tell it's really going to happen there, and the first time it happens is very special indeed.
And I do like that mix of emotions. It is only endurance racing that can do that. Less than half an hour to go, Dubai Autodrome, and the first big race of the 2014 season is the Dubai Dunlop 24 Hours. So, half an hour. Scary, scary, scary at the moment. We were talking earlier on about people hearing noises. The number 20 car babying perhaps the gearbox. Now here it is, the second place car, the Morsler, in second place in its class, the SP2. Vincent Rademacher brought this car in. What a weekend it's been for those guys as well. There's your leader. 208 last time around, 205. Mark Baseng still keeping the pressure on, but he's got Khaled Al-Kabasi keep the pressure on him. There's only 2 laps between second and third. Time is beginning to run out, though, for changes in the top 3 at least, Paul.
Yeah, I think we could still have changes in the top 10, though, because there's not much going on in the pit lane, but there is a team ready to do a pit stop, and it's the number 76 team from Schubert Motorsport getting ready to service Dirk Werner's car, which is in 10th place, and as he gets the pit stop, so he will almost certainly lose that 10th place, because it'll go back to Jürgen Hering with the Porsche number 66. In he comes now into the pit lane. Paul Dalla standing by, ready to take over at the wheel of that car, number 76.
I do think it's very interesting just how hard these guys are still pushing. at the head of the field, as Aneshkin is, I mean, I don't know whether it's better to be standing in the pit wall watching it where you can't really influence it, or, you know, it's like taking if it's soccer, it's a penalty shootout in the World Cup final, and you've got the 6th penalty, the one that if you miss is the one that puts you out of the World Cup final. You know, there's no coming back at this point. At the start of the race, something breaks, you can fix it, you can possibly get back into it, but at the moment there's no room for error, no room to recover from the error as it stands.
Gerard Lopez here in the 1-3-6 pit. It's been a difficult race, but looks like it's going to end up with you on the podium in class.
Yeah, I mean, we lost something like 3 hours at the beginning. An accident. We had a electrical issue. We had a car to go probably top 15, quite easy, but we didn't really make it. So, but second in class, okay.
Is it a bit easier being a driver than someone trying to sort out the management and finance for an F1 team?
No. This is fun, and the other part is too. I don't deal with it full time, but both are okay. Enjoy both.
Is there any chance possibly we might see a move into endurance racing for the team you look after or help?
We do, actually. We won the FIA GT3 Championship last year. We have an SLS team and a Lamborghini Trofeo. This is more the fun part, so.
See, I always think of Le Mans when I say endurance, because everything else is a couple of hours. 24 hours, it doesn't count otherwise.
We'll see.
Thanks, Gerard. Thank you very much. Gerard, of course, who looks after GD Capital, who are a very important part of the Lotus F1 team.
Yeah, they're having the... Oh, and the spin right on the front straight. Khaled El Khabesi has looped it coming out of the final corner. And that is a huge incident as he just lost concentration maybe for a moment. His eyes taken by a car in front. He's got away with that, he's just brushed the pit wall. And he's got the car going again. He's had the presence of mind to dip the clutch, get down through the sequential gearbox and get it going again. And that is the 3rd place car on the podium.
Yeah, my concern there, John, would be that he clipped the rear wing against the pit wall, not the pit wall, but the wall there. And it kind of hit the rear wing from the wrong angle. So
I think he missed the wall, guys. I don't think he hit it.
You don't think he touched it?
I don't think he touched it.
Okay.
I think he probably couldn't put a piece of paper between it and the wall, but I don't think he touched it.
That is the most extraordinary thing I've ever seen.
Snap spin, and he went from driver to passenger, and that was it.
I think as he's coming through 16, there's a slower car ahead of him, and what happens there is that he's come through and the car's a bit slower, and he has to tighten the car up on the edge and pinch the car in.
He pinched it.
And in that moment, the car just broke away from him. Very, very lucky indeed not to have had a huge accident. So that is the 3rd place car. Khaled El Khabesi will be awake now, I would think. Any thoughts of tiredness and fatigue will be gone by the huge amount of adrenaline coursing through his veins at about 1,000,000 miles an hour as in comes the 3rd place A6 amateur car to make its final pit stop. So let's have a look on the back of that car, see if there's any additional damage. And Paul was worried about the rear wing on that car. It looks fairly secure as it goes through. Paul peers out of the commentary box window.
I think if we get another look at it a little bit slower, I think you'll see that he doesn't really get the wall.
No, I think what I saw was a cloud of dust being kicked up, and I think it was the dust of the being offline which was kicked up, and rather than the wing clipping against the wall. But certainly, as far as Khaled's position is concerned, he has something like 10 minutes of an advantage over Marco Seyfried, who's the next one up. So he doesn't really need to worry. What is it? No, it's 9 minutes and 15 seconds between himself and Marco Seyfried, so he can afford to come in for a pit stop to check it over if he needs to. In terms of his lap time on that lap, he was just 30 seconds slower whilst he caught the spin, sorted himself out, took a deep breath and got going again.
There is a battle in A3T between the 97 and Devon Modell in the 47. There was 20-odd seconds between them, but the lap times of Devon Modell are 6 and 7 seconds quicker than Joseph Rittner, who is in the car ahead of him. This is the battle for second and third, 33rd and 34th overall, second and third in A3T. It's one of the minor classes, but they are really at it, hammer and tongs. And we'll keep an eye on that as the race
18
progresses.
seconds apart right now.
Well, that a couple of laps ago, that was over 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And Devon Modell, whose name we have mentioned a couple of times during the race, has been another one of these stars who pop up with just 20 minutes to go now. Now, a little bit earlier on, we asked you for your nominations for the spirit of the race, and the responsible adult has been monitoring the Twitter feed at Radio Le Mans under the hashtag SOTR, and we've got some very honourable mentions to go, including the timekeepers here, Time Service NL, RAM and KPM together. Now, they were helping each other during the night, fixing each other's cars. That really is the spirit of the race, isn't it? The number 12 Viper in there, and the car 1, 2, 3 for Nissan and RGN. But the runaway winners are Team LNT and the 28 team as a whole for their efforts in the Dunlop Dubai 24 Hours of 2014, and they get absolutely nothing but the honour of being named the spirit of the race and taking the Robin Goodman Awards as voted by the listeners and viewers. So well done to Lawrence and the rest of the team. He'd be the first one to say that that is a proper team effort. There is the pole sitter and fastest lap of the race still to the 21 car.
Marco Seyfried in the 458 going off to get more fuel. No other work done in the pits, just driving down the pit lane at 40 kilometres an hour, which is the speed limit, and up to the refuelling point to take on sufficient fuel to get him through the final 18 minutes of the race. And also up there, he's joining the number 66 Attempto Racing Porsche of Jürgen Hering, and he also, I think he did stop at his pit very briefly, as we just get, there are a few final changes just at the end. But certainly the positions of the top three are set, and Marco Seyfried will get out before the Corvette comes past. He has already gone past, hasn't he? So good run there in the pro category for the of the Ferrari for Marco Seyfried. Eric Maris has taken over behind the wheel of the number 14, talking of spirit of the race, the AF Corsa type entry for spirit of the race. This is number 14 car, a car which has had a very kind of softly approach to the race. Eric Maris joining John Dillon, Felipe Barrieros, Aaron Scott and Malikov Ilya. And a position in the top 10 beckons for them, and a podium position as far as A6AM is concerned.
There is the 1, 2, 3 leading the SP2 category, just outside the top 25 for Lucas Ordonez. And the Nissan GT Academy, they're looking to get both of the 370s together, which I think they have about to achieve. I thought I saw one in the background coming down the hill, get the PR shot, first and third. And Bob and Liz Neville have done another cracking job with this year's intake. Darren Cox, who was with us in the studio earlier on, has proved there are more than one way to skin a cat and find motor racing talent, and it doesn't necessarily have to be people who are deep of pocket or whose bank of mum and dad are deep of pocket, and coming through the virtual world is a relevant way to find new talent.
I was shocked he didn't jump on Nick's idea of 24th scale to 24 hours.
Well, we'll see about that.
Now there's the two together. And that's great.
That's well done. Nicely done, gents.
Wondering whether Heinz Schmersel may have still to make a pit stop in car number 11, currently in 15th place, 4th in the AM class. He would be the next one up, as he came in for a pit stop over an hour ago, and as I say, I think he might just need to make another stop for fuel before the end. So don't be surprised if the number 11 car collection Motorsport Mercedes makes the final pit stop for fuel just before the end. The Corvette is only a minute behind Marco Seyfried after that pit stop for the Ferrari. And Paul Dalla Lana in the number 76 BMW, following his pit stop, or following the pit stop for the BMW, where Paul Dalla Lana took over, has now got himself back into 10th place. So things sorting themselves out as we go towards the closing 15 minutes. We're already in 15 minutes, aren't we? We're just over 10 minutes to go in the race.
And just to point out, if you're sitting watching or listening to this around the world and you're not listening on 87.6 FM here at the track or at the grandstand, January 2015, 8th, 9th and 10th. Block out those dates now and start making your plans. It's the 10th anniversary running of this race, and I have a feeling that the racing will be just as good and the party will be even bigger.
I think you're right, and I think we should look into doing like maybe one of your 100-mile-an-hour tours.
Sounds reasonable. And well done to Gary Willems and the rest of Creventic for the last 9 years of this race, and we wish them the best of luck for the 10th anniversary running.
Hit it out of the park again. Absolutely knockout event again.
You have to. We do a lot of motor racing, guys, between us, and you have to say, you do get cynical, and a small group of passionate people can make a difference. And Creventic stand up and be counted.
Hear, hear, because they have put sport back in sports car racing.
Oh, like it. Absolutely like that.
We're watching on the screens Rolf Ineichen in the leading car, number 20, with 12 minutes and a half to go. He's on his 598th lap. I've been mulling over the course of the race whether they were going to get to 600 or not. Well, some green flag running in the final few hours has enabled that. We've been averaging 26, 27 laps per hour, and it looks like we're going to hit 600 laps, which is the same number as they did last year. We'll hit more than that by the end.
Right. Okay, Graham Goodwin, dailysportscar.com.
Just had a quite special phone call, actually, John. And you guys have been talking about the spirit of this race and about the emotion attached to it. There's pretty much emotion in this call. Martin Short's just been on the line.
Shorty.
And he wants everybody here to know, and everybody listening to know, that Kushti's wife and boys have been watching and listening to the broadcast and watching the race. They've been overwhelmed by the support they've received, and in particular by the motorsport community. They want to thank everybody, particularly to Team LNT, particularly to Rob Bath and to Stewie Hall, and to the likes of Jim Hersey and Mike Simpson, Lawrence Tomlinson, Lee Penn, and those here as well, a good mate of Kushti's. And there's a particular message from Shorty, is that there will be a memorial for Kushti at the BRDC on the 10th of March, with a Ginetta track day on the 11th to follow. And all that knew, liked and loved him are more than welcome to come and celebrate the life of someone who, this is a typical Shorty comment, it sounds like LNT missed him today. God bless you, son.
Yeah, thanks, Shorty. So the last 10 minutes of racing as we watch Khaled El Khabazi with a very squirrely looking SLS Mercedes-Benz. No wonder that guy, he's keeping off the curbs now, Jim, as he comes out of turn number 16.
That's for darn sure. He almost threw it away going into turn 14. So I think he needs to just pace himself, Paul, these last 10 minutes, or this could all unravel, and we could see the 458 in with a shout at the podium.
Yes, I mean, we've been talking about how serious this is, and there's a lot of people who are very putting in laps as fast as the guys up at the front of the field as well. And they're not even squabbling over position. They're in 16th, 17th and 18th places. But they're all in very quick cars. And they're not afraid to use them either. They're really pushing them on as fast as they'll go, which is great to see.
The Ginetta is back out on the track.
Yippee!
Yeah. we thought it might. And we just saw a really cool moment in the pits, too. Henry Wallenhorst, the owner of the 27 car, is out in that car now. It's the car that's right behind the 458 that we see on our screen now. As he was leaving the pits, the entire crew came out to the hot pit lane and kind of, waved him through and cheered him on for him to go out and enjoy the last 10 minutes of this race.
Yeah, they'd have been sprinkling confetti on him, wouldn't they, otherwise?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what they would have been doing.
Yeah, I mean, this is the sort of the time of the race when you can dare to hope. I think when to get within the last 10 minutes, you can dare to say, well, look, just keep on driving it round and you'll make it into the finish. And in A3T, John...
We've got a race. We have a race. 97 and 47 are 7 seconds apart. And... last time around, 3 seconds were taken out of the second place. This is 97 and 47, battling for second place after almost 24 hours. This is a remarkable run to the line, what you might call a grandstand finish. These two teams have been swapping places all the way through. 97 is the Austrians with the fabulous overalls.
Lederhosen overhaul.
Yeah. They are currently in second place, and 47 is the Motorsport Services, the Kiwi-entered team that has a mix of New Zealanders and Brits in the Seat Leon Super Cobra.
It's Josef Ratner in the 97, and he's being chased by Devin Model in the number 47.
And it's fair to say that also in that class, Sandra van der Sloot has not quite disappeared off into the distance, but she's got more than a lap advantage and is able just to control it now. She can pretty much just bring it home.
She said that they had the speed in that car. They've come back from nowhere, 30-odd laps down.
Judged it just right.
Well, except once.
Yeah. On that occasion when they said they had the speed, they judged it just right. But that was a fairly hairy moment when they got hit.
7 minutes.
7 minutes to go, and the lead car picks his way through the traffic that the leaders have had to have since lap number 6. The ebb and flow of this race has been extraordinary. We haven't, other than that A3T battle, got too much going on. That's the 97 and the 47.
Just gone across the start-finish line.
2 seconds, I reckon, between them. Maybe not even that, as they head down towards turn number 1.
1.4.
Let's have a look as they go through turn number 1. Let's see at Supercopa holding on to the lead in A3T at the moment. There they are. There's the battle going out on the far side of the track and down towards turns 5, 6 and 7. 97, the Supercopa is going wide, and he may have just lost the position. He has done. The red and white Supercopa just went wide going into turn number 5 and 6. No grip on the front tyres, and I think I've just seen Devon Modell go through into second place with less than 5.5 minutes to go. Extraordinary stuff. And the pace at the head of the field has barely lifted off. Khaled El-Khabazi is struggling with that Mercedes-Benz handling now, and it's a good job he has got some time in hand. 2:22.1 last time around.
Yeah, I think that spin didn't do his tyres any good, John, which will anyway have been getting warmer and warmer, and getting onto the dust and sliding along sideways will have done them no good at all. So Khaled will be struggling to bring that car home, but as you say, he does have a very comfortable cushion to maintain that third place in the race. With the magic 600 laps completed now by the Stadler Motorsport team. Rolf Ineichen at the wheel of the number 20 Porsche then, with just 2 laps to go after this one.
So it will be more than 600 laps, as you rightly said then, Paul.
Not a lot more, mind, but they have got over there. They haven't done a record distance, but they have gone further than they went last year.
The end of a 24-hour race has mixed emotions. For those that get to the end, you can't help feeling you should be celebrating wherever it is. For some of those that haven't, they'll be long gone from the circuit. And for some of those that do get to the end, there'll be always the what-ifs. And could we have done better? But it's no small achievement to get to the end of a 24-hour race in whatever machinery you have chosen, Paul.
Penultimate lap now for the race leader, Rolf Ineichen, then on to his penultimate lap. He's turning down through turns 4 and 5 now.
And a la Le Mans, Paul, the teams have come out and are all climbing the fence so that they can cheer on their respective car, because it is just, it's good a feeling to finish 5th in this race as it is to finish on the podium, because it's a collective effort and it's a collective reaching of a goal to finish a 24-hour race.
You don't get anywhere in this kind of racing unless you put everything into it, and these guys, all of them, have been putting everything into it for the last 23 hours and 57 minutes. And right up until the very last minute, it's still maximum effort, maximum concentration. Rolf Ineichen then bringing that car through. There's still cars he's got to negotiate his way past. He's still got to concentrate on the lines. He's got to concentrate on keeping off the marbles and keeping that car going for this last lap and a bit of this final race.
Up to the top of the hill at the eastern end of the Dubai Autodrome, which will look very different when we come back for the 10th anniversary on the 8th, 9th and 10th of January 2015 for the Dunlop Dubai 24 Hours version 10. Big plans, more big plans for this already exciting development in the Middle East. The hotel at the opposite end of the circuit has already been, the construction has already been resumed. We've heard that there'll be some big changes at how the track will look to our cameras when we're back here next year, and we will be back here next year. I'd expect Nissan to be challenging at the front of the field with their GTR GT3, adding to the great marks that are already here of Ferrari, of Aston Martin, of Corvette, of BMW and Mercedes-Benz, and of course of Porsche. Porsche, the brand, if you like, that have made the most out of endurance racing over the lifetime of the brand. Last year was the 50th anniversary of the venerable 911, and their motorsports programme born out of a need to advertise the performance of their cars when Ferry Porsche could not afford to do it in any other way. Sporting heritage in the very DNA of every Porsche 911.
They'll tell you they're an engineering company, not a car company.
And 2014 is an immensely important year for the engineering company that is Porsche, as they return to the very pinnacle of endurance racing with their new engineering project, the LMP1. They do this to learn, they do this to improve, and once in a while they get to enjoy the spoils of their victory as well.
Good way to start the season.
Will it be 17 overall victories at Le Mans in June? Perhaps that's a little too much to ask for a brand new project, but there's life in the 911 yet. As Stadler Motorsports have proved, they will have completed 603 laps when Rolf Ineichen comes across the line to win the 9th edition of the Dunlop Dubai 24 Hours here at the Dubai Autodrome. The checkered flag is out, and we have our first International Endurance Racing Champions of the Year as Stadler Motorsport takes it in the Porsche ahead of Mark Passeng, who comes through in second, 3 laps behind for Gary Robertshaw and the rest of the All-England Munich Motorsport team. Khaled El Khabazi struggling with a recalcitrant Mercedes-Benz in 3rd position, another 2:25, and here is the number 2 car coming through to take 3rd position in the classes. Jordan Groger gets the honour of bringing home the A6 AM winner in 7th position, the 888 Dragon Sport. It's 42 taking the 997 spoils down in 13th. Let's go down to Nick Damon on the pit wall.
Christian Engelhardt from the Stad team, you must be delighted to win. Did you think you were going to win at the start of the race?
No way. We didn't have any thoughts about winning here. In fact, we were still thinking about which category we start in before we entered the race, and now we end up winning the pro category, which is fantastic. It's my first time in Dubai. It's the first 24-hour race I can finish, and it's a win.
And what do you think was the secret of that win?
We have not a single scratch on the car. The whole the whole race, we had no contact, nothing. Consistent driving, fast driving, and no mistakes.
Christian, well done, and go and enjoy the ceremony at the podium.
Fuel and tyres, fuel and tyres.
Survive in advance.
Yep.
Survive in advance.
And isn't that, though, the Porsche way down the years?
Mm-hmm.
Keep it clean, keep it out there, and
paint it white.
Paint it white. I'm having my Porsche wrapped white after this, Paul, definitely.
Flat white, man, flat white.
And confirmation then that Stadler Motorsports has won the first big international race of 2014 in the early weeks of January, from All-England Munich Motorsports and the Mercedes-Benz in 2nd place. Who would have put money on the 38 car being the best of the Benz? 3rd, Khaled El Khabazi, also for Mercedes-Benz. Stadler Rolex 24 class winners in 94 and 95, and overall winners in Suzuka 1000 Ks in 95. That was the last time they had big wins. And thanks to you to Johannes Guaglica for digging out those facts on Stadler Motorsports. We knew you would have the collective wisdom, Johannes, thank you. And to the victor, the spoils. Let's go down to Bruce with the winners in the GT, the A6 AM category.
Yeah, with Khaled Al Muhafo, Kuwaiti winner here. Now with 20 minutes to go, you're all looking very nervous whether Jordan Groger would hold on, but you've won A6 AM. What does that mean to you?
It means the world to me. You know, we tried hard and we played the tortoise and the hare. We were slower paced, but we didn't take any risks. Made a good strategy and paid off in the end. And it's a great feeling, you know?
Go on then, what's next? What's next for Kader Abulhaf?
Le Mans, nothing else.
There's only one place. Well done, congratulations, Dragon Racing.
Like that kind of attitude as well. Thank you to all of you who have tweeted and kept us going through the night hours. There's 2 of the top 3. We're waiting for Khaled El Khabazi to come in. Let's go through the rest of the class winners. Congratulations to the 62 squad, who I think led A5 from flag to flag. It seemed very much as though that was the case. I can't remember mentioning any other car in that category. The GR Motorsport BMW, the 3.2 machine. Dutch entered and Dutch-Lithuanian driving crew. In SP3, the 164 had a bit of a fight on their hands, but Speedworks Motorsport, the Brit guys with Christian Dick at their helm there, Ross Warburton, Tony Hughes and Will Scully in the Giannetti G50. In the end, just 2 laps up.
Well done. Thank you. Well done. Very great job. Thank you.
Jan Engelbrecht brought the number 106 car home at the head of the A2 category. The AD Racing for Kiraja, Renault Clio Sport, and of course the Nissan 123 winning their category as well. And well done to the D1 winners, 125 Wim Merkels for the Recce Racing team. Paul Truswell, Jim Roller, Nick Damon, Bruce Jones and myself, John Hindhaugh, getting to do the best job in the world watching motor racing in great locations. And if you ever wonder what it means, what single races means, this is not for a championship, this is for the single race. 24-hour races mean something to Stadler Motorsport and to everyone who does it. As Charlie Lamb of Schnitzer said, there's only 2 sets of people in the world, those who understand 24-hour races and those that don't. So the 3 leading cars, or winning cars, for the podium are down in Parc Fermé. Nick Damon is among the milling throng, and we'll try and get words with everybody that we can. Nick.
Yes, I'm milling in the throng. I mean, the big question is, which of the guys from each team is going to be riding the camel? That's the key question, what we all need to know. Mr. Huff, have you got camel duty?
I hope not.
Oh, then you should do, really. You've ridden worse. I mean, you've seen the cars you had in the SEAT Championship.
Very dare you.
I was talking about machines.
Yeah, I mean, what a great result. Everyone here put up a great fight. It was an awesome race, and congratulations to the 20-car Porsche. But I have to say, starting at 12th place and putting that victory out, the second place out the bag was amazing.
Again, so you're doing quite well. That's 2 endurance races, 2 podiums, and you're off to Daytona next.
Yeah, Daytona, then Bathurst, then Sebring. We've got quite a busy endurance schedule ahead.
That's pretty impressive for a touring car driver.
And then a bit of touring cars on top.
Now go on, off you go. Get on that camel. Carry on, follow that camel. Oh, no, it's Mark. Mark's got on the camel. Mark Basseng will be camelling. Rolf Venetian is also camelling, and I assume it'll be Khaled El Khabazi, because he does like a good camel at the end of these successful 24-hour races. He's had a ride on more than one occasion. Let's see if we can pick up someone from the... wait to see with the motors brake. Let's see if we can pick up someone from the third-place car. There's Jürgen. So we... you've got the 3rd place you're after, in some ways.
Yeah, so I've scored 1, 2, 3, 4 now here. Hopefully it's not 5th place next year, but yeah, it was a tough race. Incredible what happened to a lot of quick cars, but in the end, you know, it's a podium, it's a good result. The team did a great job, all drivers were really on it. We just had some bad luck on the car. Yeah, that's what happens.
We got a lot less of the car you finished with and you started. I mean, what caused that bit of eatery?
Yeah, there was a tire blow up, and it damaged a lot of the car. And then I think we had some coming together as well. So the car is in bad shape.
Yeah, I think it looked pretty undrivable towards the end. Carlo was kind of hanging on for dear life for it, wasn't he? Sorry.
Yeah, it was a tough. I drove it in the second last stint, and it was all over the place. And you can see it that it's not in a good shape anymore. So that was probably why.
And what's your program from now? What's the next race we'll see you at?
Daytona 24. So yeah, another 24. A lot of miles. So yeah, looking forward to it.
And this is the next generation Bleekemolen racer?
Yeah, he wants to see some camels, so we're waiting for that.
We all want to see some camels. It's the only reason we come to Dubai is for the camels. Everyone knows that. So the camels actually have a clear path. They've learned from the last couple of years, John. They actually cleared a path. They've taped it off in a kind of a royal cavalcade way. And there are camels advancing rapidly on us. Come with me, Jürgen. You can have the advancement of the camels as they come through the throng of the crowd, going past the Stadler Motorsport car, which does look remarkably unscathed. All 4 dive planes, 2 on each side, still fully intact. Which I think probably, as Christian said, that is the one car that's had no problems at all. And we can see our third-place man on the lead camel. The second camel, I think, has the winner. No, the second camel is a 3-2-1. So the winner is on the last of the beasts of burden as they clear the opening for our favourite part of the event. Kalle Akabe is looking very happy there, and a very beautifully bedecked camel. There's a kind of a face mask sort of thing. It's very colourful, and a very nice blanket over it. I'm sure there are proper technical terms for all these various parts of camel attire, and I really ought to have learnt them by now. But and here comes our second place camel rider in a much more gold and blue. And the third camel is wearing a lovely Versace couture in blue and red. And that's carrying Ralph Anitsian, the winner of the 9th edition of the 24 Hours of Dubai, sponsored by Dubai. They're your top 3 on the top 3 camels in Dubai, and they will soon be joining their teammates on the podium. So as the camel-based celebration continues, interestingly, you buy the camel quite towards the back. So if you think of a camel having sort of 2 humps, although I'm not actually sure these are 2-humped camels, whether dromedaries or the other one. These are single, I've been told. Obviously, John, straight on the technical specification of the camel, it is a single hump, and you sit quite a long way back on a camel, whereas a horse, you kind of ride on its shoulders. The camel, you're right back over behind the rear end of its back. I have to say that Rolf Anitsian, he really is a camel natural. He's really, we have seen some of the Europeans not take to this part of the event before. And then Darren Turner wasn't terribly chuffed about camel riding. But both Mark Bossang and Ralph are enjoying this. So perhaps it's a German thing. Perhaps Germans have an affinity with a camel ride. Or it's just because they're just chuffed to got there in the 24-hour race and be winners. I'm going to try a camel-based interview, I think, in a minute. That's always fun. Mark, a reach-up interview. A very hard road race in second place for the Al Inkle car.
Yeah, it was an amazing race. We had some pullbacks, I would say, with some penalties we got in the Code 60 infringements. But we never give up. The car was amazing, reliable. We had no problems with it the whole race. And my boss, René Münich, he's an amateur driver. He did an awesome job. He had a good pace. And Rob, as a touring car world champion, shows that he's as very good in a GT car. And yeah, our first really race, a 24-hour race of the SLS, and we finished second. I would say that is a great day today.
Thanks, Mark. And now the camels are being told to kneel. I mean, the question actually you need to ask, and as Rolf gets off there, one of our winners, it's going to be, we're going to have a quick word with Rolf Anitsian. Rolf, fantastic, congratulations. You are the winner of the 9th edition of Dubai. I have to ask you a question. 6 or 7 hours in the Porsche or 3 minutes on a camel, what's hardest?
The camel was harder than the Porsche. What question? Porsche is the best car in the world. Thanks for this great car.
And they are being taken off. You ushered off the podium there, Rolf, but that's, there you are. So therefore, if you are considering a major sports car purchase at the moment, and your choices are a camel or a Porsche, you have it from Rolf, choose the Porsche. So still people, as they move back and around, we're going to lose the top drivers as they walk up to the podium, and I think that will happen is quite quickly. The podium ceremony will be taken over by René. So the drivers all disappear off and the camels are all kneeling very obediently. That has been a problem in the past, but they have managed to get all the camels to kneel, and it's So here we are in Parc Fermé. We have our first, second and third overall for the 9th running of the Dubai 24 Hours, sponsored by Dunlop. You will be seeing the full podium ceremony for those top runners and possibly some of the podium ceremonies for the other class as well. Many, many people have won. Many people have been on the podium in what's been a fantastic event. Thank you for watching here on Motors, and thank you for watching with Radio Le Mans. I'm going to pass you over now to some what we call GVs and then the podium ceremony. I'm Nick Damon. We're Radio Le Mans. Thanks for watching.
So Nick clearly overcome by the emotion of Parc Fermé there. Your master of ceremonies for the podium will be René De Boer, who will take you through all of the formalities of the presentations for the 2014 Dunlop 24 Hours of Dubai.
Wir können starten, so schnell wir wollen. Wir sind bereit. Ja.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there we are for the prize-giving ceremony after the 9th running up to Dunlop 24 Hours of Dubai. What a great race it's been, and we've got lots of reasons to celebrate the achievements of all the drivers that will be lining up here for you. We start with the overall classification. In 3rd place, the Black Falcon 2 team with Khaled Al-Kabaisi, Jerome Blake-Molen, Abdulaziz bin Turki Al-Faisal, Hubert Haupt and Adam Christodoulou. In 2nd place, the Alinkle.com Munich Motorsport team with René Munich, Marc Bazeng and Rob Huff. And the winners of this year's race, ladies and gentlemen, Stadler Motorsport, Marc Ineichen, Rolf Ineichen, Marcel Matter, Adrian Amstutz and Christian Engelhardt. Your top three, ladies and gentlemen. And let's hear the national anthem of the winning team from Switzerland. Your top three, ladies and gentlemen. And to hand out the trophies, we have the great honor of having the presence here of His Highness Sheikh Juma Al Maktoum, to be assisted by Ali Al Fadhan, chairman of the Dubai Autodrome, who's been once again a wonderful host for this great event. Your Highness, Mr. Al Fadhan, please. So first of all, the trophies for the third place team, the Black Falcon 2 team with the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG GT3. Trophies for the team in second place, also with a Mercedes Gullwing sports car, an SLS AMG GT3. From Germany, the Alinkel.com Munich Motorsport team with René Munich, Mark Bazeng and Rob Huff. Also assisting in the prize-giving ceremony, Mr. Mitchell Peters, General Manager of Goodyear Dunlop Tires Middle East, the title sponsor of this event, and thank you very much for your involvement as well. And now to the winners, the big trophies for this race. For Stadler Motorsport, the winners of the 9th running of the Dunlop 24 Hours of Dubai. Let's hear for Mark Ineichen, Rolf Ineichen, Marcel Matter, Adrian Amstutz and Christian Engelhardt. Gentlemen, can we have one group picture, please? Please raise your trophies, also with Your Highness and also with Mr. Al Fadhan. Can we have one picture to commemorate this great event, this wonderful motor race we've had here at the Dubai Autodrome? So, thank you very much. Let's have a little chat with the winner, the driver that drove the winning car across the line, and that was Rolf Ineichen. Rolf, can we have a little chat? What a great victory for you. The first Swiss team to win here in Dubai and the fourth victory for Porsche. Tell us about your feelings.
It's incredible. I don't know what to say at the moment. It was just a great race. The beginning of the race for us was, let's say, the qualifying and the test before we had an accident. So we were not happy, so all started bad. And then in the race, we could make progress, and we went in front and more in front and more in front, and in the end we were winning, and that's absolutely great.
Great victory for Switzerland, great victory for Porsche. Thank you very much for being here and enjoy your success. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your top three. And may I ask all the drivers to leave the stage from this side. But please don't leave us entirely, because we continue with the class prize-giving ceremony for the Class A6. That's the GT3 class, and that is the same top three as we had for the overall results. So, once again, I would like to call on stage the team in third place, the Black Falcon 2 team with the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG, Khalid Al-Kabaisi, Jerome Blake-Mullen, Abdulaziz Al-Faisal, and Hubert Haupt and Adam Christodoulou. The team in second place, also with Mercedes, Alwinkel.com Munich Motorsport, with René Munich, Mark Bazeng and Rob Huff. Once again, you get another trophy for the class prize-giving ceremony in the A6 class. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, the winners of this race, Stadler Motorsport, Mark Ineichen, Rolf Ineichen, Marcel Matter, Adrian Amstutz and Christian Engelhardt. Another trophy for you. And presenting the trophies in the A6 class will be Gerry Willems on behalf of Creventic, co-promoter and organizer of the Dunlop Tour 24 Hours of Dubai. And I'm sure we also have Mr. Peters on site, general manager of Goodyear Dunlop Tire Middle East, to help present the trophies and the silverware to the winning drivers and the top 3 drivers in the A6 class. And we start with the team in third place.
Third place.
The team in third place, Black Falcon 2. The team in second place, Alwinkel.com Munich Motorsport. And the winning team, Stadler Motorsport. Some beautiful trophies as a very nice memory of a fantastic weekend of racing here at the Dubai Autodrome. Been a great pleasure to be here for the official or the unofficial season opening of the 2014 motor racing season, and what a great event it has been. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear once more for the top 3 in class A6 Pro.
Second.
Thank you very much. Schön gefahren. Thank you. Good, we have a container here.
And together with the silverware, there's also a check for all the teams on the podium of €100 from Syntix, the official sponsor of the 24-hour series, Syntix Lubricants. So another reason to enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, and for the last time today, your top 3 from the 9th running of the Dunlop 24 Hours of Dubai. Thank you very much. Let's clear the stage because we have a lot of other trophies to present. Enjoy your success. Thank you very much. And hope to see you again very soon, be it in Mugello, in Barcelona, in Hungary, or at the latest next year, inshallah, as they say here in Dubai. So we continue with the Porsche 997 Cup class. We have the overall win for Porsche, but also a lot of Porsche cars in the Cup category. And let's call on stage in third place, Car Collection Motorsport from Germany with Peter Schmidt, Ingo Vogler, Dr. Wolfgang Kemper, Mirko Konopka and Sebastian Konopka. In second place, the Black Falcon 3 team, starting number 44 with Arturo De Vigus, Anders Fjordbach, Willy Friedrichs, Burkhard Kaiser, and Vladimir, and I don't know his surname, I'm very sorry, it's not on my list. But anyway, enjoy your success, the Black Falcon 3 team. And the class winners of the 997 Porsche class, fourth racing by Lucas Motorsport from Poland. Let's hear for Robert Lucas, Christopher Bekan Ramirez, Andrei Lewandowski, and Stefan. Stefan has called Bielinski, by the way. So the trophies once again being presented for the Porsche 997 Cup class. We also welcome representatives from Porsche Al Nabuda Automobiles, the official Porsche importer for the Emirates here in Abu Dhabi. We have Madeleine Bergman here. Thank you very much for your presence and enjoy your success. Also a great victory for Porsche. The fourth win for Porsche in this event, and that makes Porsche the most successful manufacturer in the history of the Dunlop 24 Hours of Dubai.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So that's all the silverware. Ladies and gentlemen, stand together, present your trophies to the photographers and enjoy your success. And also for you, a voucher worth 100 euros to spend with Syntix, our official lubricants partner of the 24-hour series. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, your top three in the 997 category. Thank you very much. So next in line we continue with the SP2 class, and that's the special class cars, mainly GT cars and silhouette cars. Let's hear in third place for the Nissan GT Academy Team RJN2 for Lucas Orones, Ashley Oldfield, Thor Graves, James Moffat and Karun Chandok. In second place with the Motor sports car, the Luxembourg-based team Gravity Racing International with Vincent Rademacher, Eric Lux, Gerard Lopez, Andy Ruin and Loris de Sordi. And the SP2 class winners, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear for the Nissan GT Academy Team RJN1, Lucas Orones, Miguel Fasica, Florian Strauss, Stanislav Arkonov and Nicolas. Ladies and gentlemen, your class winners in SP2. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so silent out there. Are you still here?
Congratulations.
That makes it a lot easier. Thank you. We need a little bit of support up here. Yeah, there you go. Very good.
Congratulations. Well done. Well done.
There's a lot of prizes to be given out, but there's a lot to celebrate as well for everyone who has made it to the finish in this 24-hour race. That's an achievement in itself.
Thank you. Nice one. Show to the
So, gentlemen, please raise your trophies, stand together for the photographers, and enjoy your success. The class winners and the top 3, ladies and gentlemen, in the SP2 class. We also welcome Mr. Darren Cox, Head of Motorsport for Nissan. Great the project to have you here being involved with the Dunlop 24 Hours of Dubai for such a long time already, and a great achievement to celebrate with first and third place in class, and we hope to see you back again here in many, many years to come. Special photo for the Nissan drivers. Very good achievement by you, and we look forward to a lot of other fascinating Nissan Motorsport projects later on this year. The number 56 entry in Le Mans, and also the involvement in the V8 Supercars in Australia, and a lot of sports car activities in the World Endurance Championship and in GT racing with the PlayStation Academy. A great project and a great boost for motorsport, for which we thank you really very much. So let's continue with class SP3, that's the GT4 class, and we call on stage first. In third place, the Red Camel Jordans.nl2 team with Yusuf Basil, Jonathan Venter, Keith Kazuke and Maurice Faber driving the Audi R8. Flying the flag for Audi. And then in second place, Perfection Racing Europe with the Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT4. Let's hear for Erik Behrens, Kim Holmgaard, Michael Klostermann, Michael Lundström and Kasper. In second place. And the class winners with starting number 164, Speedworks Motorsport with the Ginetta, driven by Tony Hughes, Christian Dick, Ross Warburton and Will Scully. Your class winners in SP3. So the silverware for you as well. Mitchell Peters also very busy handing out all the trophies, but all these achievements have been achieved with Dunlop tyres, so a lot of reason to celebrate for you as well. Dunlop, once again, a great performance in this race, brought about 7,000 tyres, and they've performed very, very well in this event once more, so thank you very much to you and your staff for all your support.
There you go. Congratulations. Well done. Well done. Thank you.
So please stand together and raise your trophies to the photographers and enjoy your achievement and your success here. A great souvenir of a fantastic weekend of racing, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for the top 3 in the SP3 class. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A lot of reason to congratulate each other on a fine performance here at the Dubai Autodrome in the 9th running of the Dunlop 24 Hours of Dubai. And a lot of reason to celebrate with your team members, your friends, your family members. Thank you very much also to Perfection Racing, and hope to see you back again here in Dubai. So we continue with the touring car categories, and we start with the biggest touring car class, A5 petrol touring cars up to 3.5 liters. And we start in third place with Zorg Rennsport from Germany, Benjamin Zorg, Stefan Kuss, Roland Paulsen, Harald Schlotter and Jack Potter. In second place, we have a BMW Porsche Carrera team. That's the Black Falcon 4 team with Kevin Schurich, Philipp Dries, Christian von Rief and Helmut Weber. That's a Dutch-German combination and a very successful one. In second place in the A5 class. And the winning team from the Netherlands led all the way from lights to flag to score back-to-back victories in the A5 class here in Dubai. JR Motorsport with Harry Hilders, Roger Grauwels, Gert Bessem, Koen Bogaerts and Yogas Tovilavios. Trophies for the Black Falcon team as well, and the trophies for the winning team, JR Motorsport from the Netherlands with the BMW E46 GTR. Back-to-back victories here in the Dubai 24 hours in the A5 class, which is a very good achievement. If everybody has a trophy, please stand together and raise the trophies to the photographers to get a nice souvenir picture from your achievement, from your event. Gentlemen, raise your trophies, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also for you, a voucher from Syntix. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We've still got a lot of trophies to give out. So we continue with Class A3T, the petrol touring cars with turbo engines up to 2 liters. And we start with the team in third place from Austria, Felix Austria, the Prefa Racing Team Austria with Michael Kogler, Josef Rittner, Roland Frisch and Martin Niederscheider. With a stylish outfit and a Tyrolean dance to celebrate your third place. Thank you very much. In second place, all the way from down under, from New Zealand, Motorsport Services with the Seat Leon Super Coppa, driven by Danny Studdard, Ricky Kumber, Aaron Harris and Devon Model. And the class winners, in spite of a little bit of trouble early on in the race, repeating their class win from last year with the BMW 320d run by Schubert Motorsport. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear for the racing divas from the Netherlands. Natasha Smit, Gabi Allier, Sandra van der Sloot, Paulien Zwart and Shirley van der Hof. Back-to-back class wins for the Racing Divas from the Netherlands, run by Schubert Motorsport. A very good performance for them and also racing for a good cause. So great to have you here. And that goes obviously for everyone who has been part of this magnificent event. 77 cars in this race and 603 laps completed by the winners. So a great achievement here for this weekend in Dubai. Und von unseren österreichischen Freunden möchte ich nochmal einen Jodler hören, bitteschön. Ja, geht doch. Das können Sie nicht nur beim Skifahren, das können Sie auch beim Autofahren. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, your top 3 in the A3T class, Prefa Racing Team Austria, Motorsport Services and the Racing Divas Team Schubert. Okay, noch ein Handyfoto fürs Familienalbum. Wunderbar, Dankeschön. Thank you very much. Enjoy your success.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, dankjewel. Mengetak, Iger en Dansk.
Stop. Geniet ervan, hè.
Dankeschön an die Damen aus Holland, Dankeschön an die Freunde aus Österreich. Wir sehen uns in 2 Wochen beim Hanekamrennen in Kitzbühel. Ja, da geht's weiter. Los. So we continue, ladies and gentlemen, with the A2 class, another touring car class, petrol touring cars up to 2 litres, and we got on stage in 3rd place, APO Sport with the Renault Clio, Alex Osborne, James May, Stefan Bayer and Vani Finkborner. In 2nd place from Denmark, AD Racing, also with the Renault Clio Sport, Mats Pedersen, Niels Nebu, Frederik Nymark, Stefan Pedersen and Oleg Lidgård. And in 1st place from Denmark, AD Racing, K-Racer. Let's hear for Jan Engelbrecht, Martin Clausen, Jakob Christensen and Jens Herup. Heia Danske. Once again, all the trophies and the vouchers from Syntix. And all together, please, and present your trophies when you have them. We're still waiting for the first prize. There they are. The winning team, AD Racing K-Racer from Denmark, not only in Le Mans, but also here in Dubai. Danish success in the 24 hours. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mengetak. De store danske B-kører. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with the D1 diesel class up to 2 litres. In 3rd place, Red Camel Jordans.nl, 1 with the Seat Leon. Let's hear for Klaus Kresnik, Kane Austin, Daniel Wheeler and Andrew Hack. In 2nd place, KPM Racing with the Volkswagen Golf. Josh Cagill, Paul White, Aaron Mason, Javier Morcillo and Tom Onsloco. And the class winners from Belgium with the BMW 120D, the Racing team with Jan de Vocht, Johan van Loo, Stefan Schirchenmeier, Wim Mulders and Thomas.
Good job, boys.
All the trophies are there. Ladies and gentlemen, your top 3 in the D1 diesel class in the 9th running of the Dunlop 24 Hours of Dubai. And that was the prize-giving ceremony. I thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for enjoying this great weekend of motor racing together with us. Also on behalf of Crew Ventic and the DNRT, we thank everybody involved at Dubai Autodrome. Once again, a great host for this event. Would like to thank very much also the colleagues from RadioLeMans.com, Radio Show Limited. Been a great pleasure working with you once again. Many thanks also to Phil Hansen from Dubai Autodrome, the sound specialist here.